Sorry. What it then does, it takes every word
Uh-huh.
vertically,
Ah,
and
I
then
think that's
it puts a meaning next to it.
that is smart. Yeah, really.
Now, I've been trying to do that when you've been doing some of these suttas,
Ah,
but you're
so
going
you,
far too fast and too much for me to do that live.
I know, I know. I
Because,
think that's lo lovely because you know now you know the exact meaning of exact word.
well, I'm not
You
saying
know?
you will agree with these meanings, but it was giving me a vehicle for adding to the side of it all the possibilities
Ah,
that you don't get when you see, the standard translation.
yeah, yeah, yeah.
Well,
No,
that allows you to read it. You got the Pali words, but then it allows you to read but meander across the alternative meanings.
I'm with you. I'm with you. No, that sounds yeah, absolutely, absolutely.
Because I think that's
Yeah.
what you're doing in your head. I
So
can't
true.
keep up.
Yeah, 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 yeah. I mean, this is what happens. I mean, when you learn Pali over time, I mean, Pali, this is actually even not Pali 101. When you actually learn Pali over time, you would like to identify the meaning of each word, um, if not each sentence. Yeah,
Mm.
you're absolutely right. So that is a good way to, I think this is how the Pali text, this one has organized as well. So if you go to the vocabulary, you can see, yeah,
Yeah, yes,
the
I've got the book, but
yeah.
this is different. The vocabulary is just a list of words. It's a bit like reading a dictionary. Really exciting.
I see. Yeah, yeah,
Whereas what
yeah.
they've done, they've assembled all the words into a
Uh,
meaningful structure in here.
uh-huh.
So,
Yeah,
that's what I find really interesting about this compared to
yeah,
this.
yeah, yeah, yeah.
So I was going to compliment Mark
Mm,
um, for,
excellent.
for,
No,
for
no,
giving us
yeah,
that one, but it looks like he's part time.
yeah, absolutely. Yeah.
Yeah, it would
Uh,
be nice if we had it for also some other suttas, because I'm sure that's not just one off.
Exactly. That's what I was going to ask him. How many more has he got hidden away?
It's on the Nalanda monastery.
Yes, it's Nalanda. Yeah.
And there's also um, there are also some pages about Dhammapada, and all the verses are translated in that way that you in the same way.
That would be
So you've got
super.
all the. Hmm?
Yeah, that would be excellent. Yeah, I'd love
Yeah,
to
but
see it.
it's over there, but I
yeah,
don't know. Yeah, I
yeah,
can look and maybe I can put it in the chat.
yeah,
In the chat for you.
yeah, sure. No, no, there are many different kinds of translation. Now, there is one called word-to-word translation, phrase-to-phrase translation, sentence-to-sentence translation, utterance-to-utterance translation. Do you want to know more?
Is there one intention for intention?
Yeah, exactly. Intention to intention. Exactly. That is actually that's the right translation. You can never translate something, original statement cannot be translated, you know. Let me give you an example. Yeah. Now let me put something in the chat box. Um, um, okay. Now you tell me the meaning of that sentence. Bhante ji, welcome. Yeah. Oh, great to see you.
You too.
Really
How are
lovely
you?
to see you. Yeah. You are looking well. Because you are in the morning and we are in the afternoon here, the other side of the planet. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, we were actually talking about translation. That's a very good topic because you can really not translate anything original. You know, that's why somebody said any and every translator is a traitor. You know, it's really bad to know two languages. That's the colloquial. So what's wrong with this sentence? Now you read.
Everything.
Yeah, sorry.
Everything.
Everything is wrong. Okay, but you say everything is wrong. Why do you say that?
First, it should be the other way around.
Yeah.
And I don't know.
Yeah, I can go ask my wife.
Okay,
No
Julia.
capital letter.
Now you read this sentence then.
And then it's like, it doesn't make much sense.
Huh?
That woman is without her. Like,
No, what does that send? I mean, you know, I haven't changed any word. I only punctuated the sentence. Yeah.
without her is referring to woman more
Exactly.
than to man.
You know, woman without her, bloody man is nothing. What does that mean?
Man is hungry.
No. It's basically, you know, see, a sentence cannot have a meaning of its own. It, you know, it really depends on the context. The context is discussed in the punctuation. Yeah. Now, when Trotsky said to Lenin, this one, yeah. You know, a lot of people thought, now read this sentence. How do you read that sentence?
I'm missing interpunction. It's
Sorry?
not complete.
Sorry?
I'm missing interpunction. It's not complete. There must be a comma somewhere.
Yeah, well, you know, I mean, you can put a comma in between. Then you can put you are right, comma, I am wrong.
You're right.
Yeah, like this. Yeah. You know, but actually in the letter he wrote what he really meant was the exact opposite. He wrote a letter, you know, Trotsky wrote a letter to Lenin and said, "You are right, I am wrong." That's your wishful thinking, mate. So it's the exact opposite, isn't it? Yeah. So, no word, yeah. No word has a meaning. Now, what is the meaning of this word? Is this a noun or a verb?
Can
Normally
be
we
both.
would say it's a noun.
Sorry? Yeah,
You-
Can be both. You can mother someone.
Yeah, you can.
exactly. Yeah. So, I mean, see, a word does not have a category of its own. A word cannot have a meaning of its own. Everything is defined by the context. Yeah. And that's why the context is it is trying to I mean, we are trying to punctuate and try to bring a context to the text. And this, when you read the Pali text, that is also not entirely, this is no exception, because you can read it completely differently, very differently from what the Buddha meant, like, now remember, we actually read something like this, Rupang. Now, let me actually use my whiteboard. So now remember, in our very first lesson, we said this Rupam Attato Samanupasati. What does this mean?
Form is not mine.
Yeah, no, form is
Mine.
seen to be mine. Yeah, form is, now sang anupasati is, this is actually see as mine. This is atta, like say, let's say mine. This is form, right? So form, yeah. Form, I mean, rupang attato samanupasati. Now this is the this is asutava putujano. Asutava putujano. Who is asutava putujana?
Like ordinary human being.
Sorry?
Like
Ordinary human
ordinary.
being. Exactly. Yeah. Ordinary human being. I mean, this is translated as uninstructed worldling. Uninstructed worldling. Now that means somebody who really hasn't heard the Dhamma. And what is the opposite of asutava putujana? Sutava. Sorry. Sutava Arya Savaka. So Sutava means actually instructed or heard, or sunati. Sunati is the verb. Somebody who has heard it. Sutava, the one who has heard. Arya Savaka. Now that's the who is Arya Savaka?
Noble listener.
Yeah, noble disciple. Yeah, noble disciple, Arya Savaka. So Asutava Putujjana, what he does is he says Rupang Attato Samanupassati. He sees the Rupa form to be mine. Okay?
Okay, I found this on the web for it. Says the roof performed to be mine. Check it
Sorry,
out.
my phone is speaking to me. Siri is speaking to me. Okay, so so I mean in technical terms, or technically, how do you actually negate this sentence? Like now, how do you actually negate this sentence? Rupang attato samanupassati.
There are 3 ways to do it.
Yeah, exactly. Now, what are the ways to do it? I mean, usually, the suffix na equals not. Yeah. So, in Pali, if you put na, that means you negate a sentence. Okay. So, how do you want to negate this sentence?
It was, for example, after attato, before like samana.
Yeah,
Pasati.
exactly. So you can actually negate the sentence in either here na samanupassati. Yeah. So rupang attato na samanupassati.
Or before attato.
Yeah, you could also put the na here.
Yeah, before.
Right. Yeah. Rupang na attato samanupassati. Yeah. Now, which one do you think is the correct one?
First one?
Sorry?
The before form or not?
Oh, before the form. Okay. So you can also put the na here. You can actually start the sentence with na. Na rupang attato samanupassati. Yeah. What it does is it actually, I mean, say you can either negate the predicate. Now this is predicate. I mean, this is actually part of the predicate. Now let's call it predicate 1. Now this is also a predicate. That is predicate 2. Yeah. Pred 2. So now negating predicate, what you get is a completely different meaning. It is like it is raining and it's not raining. In both sentences, rain is there, isn't it? So, if you say it is not raining, still there is rain. The not raining rain is there. Yeah. So, in any of the Pali text, you don't get these actually negations. So the Aryan, I mean, Sutava Arya Savako always always understand this as na rupang. It is long. Na rupang attato samanupassati. Yeah. Now this is the only acceptable reading for Aryan. Why is that?
It was like the meaning of the sentence on the second mark was like distorting the right view, so it was arriving at the wrong view, and we don't want that. So
Exactly. Yeah. Now see now when you say, you know, now in both of these, when you are actually postulating, a form and say this form, you know, is not that. So, you know, whether you say this is, you know, this is the form or this is not the form, both actually belong to the world. This is the Lokiya. Lokiya. The world always forms a proposition and negate that. But when it comes to Lokuttara, you know, you actually can't say that at all. The entire proposition. Now, in this case, it is the entire proposition which just gets knocked off. Do you understand what I'm talking about?
So it would be no form seen as mine.
Yeah, I mean, there is, in this case, no form is seen to be mine. That means there is no chance to even presume. There is no chance to even presuppose a form. Yeah. So now read the text in the Pali canon. Nowhere you find the negation in this form. It always says, you know, in this way, narupang attatu samanupassati, na vedana. Yeah, same thing with vedana. Na sanya, na sankhara, na vijnana. Now, doesn't that interest you? Yeah.
If I, excuse me, sir.
Yeah. Yeah.
Just wanted to confirm whether how I understand is correct or not. That by adding that na as the suffix to the entire phrase, it means that na rupam attato samanupassati, there is no entity as rupa in order to subscribe as atma. So therefore, there is no such thing, either positive or negative, or saswata or uchcheda, isn't it?
Yeah, yeah, that's it. That's exactly right. So now when you say rupang attato samanupassati, it becomes actually sassata ditti. Yeah. Sassata, existential. yeah, eternalistic. Or when you say no, that means nihilism. Yeah. So both of these are views. Yeah. So therefore they belong to the world. They are also views. And the only way, or this is the only way to say this, is to knock off the entire proposition, not even a phrase. The entire clause is negated, and which actually brings up the emptiness. Yeah.
It's
So
beautiful, amazing, actually.
yeah, it is. It's beautiful, isn't it? And now see in the Chulla Vedala Sutta, any of the, I mean, this is consistent throughout the Pali, Pali canon. Nowhere now, I mean, this is the amazing thing, and no context, no place you have this, it gives the wrong meaning. That is the, consistency of things.
Shall I comment? I wanted to interrogate. Because we don't know the Pali grammar, that's the problem behind this incomprehension. If someone argued that by adding na as a prefix to the entire phrase, it's also again arguing as a sassata or nihilist or existentialist.
Well,
because we don't know Pali, that's the thing. By adding na as the prefix to the entire phrase, okay, then someone can argue like it's again nihilistic.
Okay.
Also, it comes to the same point.
Okay. Yeah, that's a good comment. But the fact remains, like, now see, looking at the sentence 1, you can see when you do this, I mean, whether it is in affirmative or negative, in both cases, there is a reading to be subscribed to. There is a reading. But in this case, there is a reading to be subscribed. That reading does not presuppose. There is no presupposition. Narupang attato samanupasati. I mean, of course, the Buddha has to use the language. Language is another, tool of the world. It's a worldly tool. So language cannot. I mean, you can't use the language to express the ultimate reality, can you? Yeah, but this is at least relatively, I mean, this is the closest. Yeah. So, okay. Mihal?
So, but in a way, if we put the na in front, then when we say that no form is seen as mine, then it's not that nihilistic, because we don't really say anything about the form, whether it exists or no, because we don't want to speculate metaphysically, but we just say that it is not mine, so it does not belong to the self, which is not a metaphysical assertion, but kind of an insight into how it is, rather than speculating about its existential status.
Yeah, I mean, exactly, that's the point. Now here, what is at stake here is whether it is existentialist or nihilistic. I mean, as long as you rule out both. Now, this is why the Buddha actually uses the middle path. Now, middle path is not a combination of the two either. Yeah. So now that's exactly the point. Okay, folks. I don't want to make it too metaphysical. Yeah, I don't want to kind of, but most interestingly, nowhere in the Pali canon, the language is used sloppily and, in a way that it can be ambiguated. Yeah. So, yeah.
I have one question because I'm working on my thesis and I was actually writing about this. I don't know how it is in Pali, but
sorry.
Oh,
you were frozen for 1 second. Yeah.
Oh yeah. So I said that I am working on Buddhist in a way Buddhist logic and this status quo. And I was wondering because it's the four alternatives. So we have assertion, negation, then we say that both, and then we say neither. And I was wondering about the fourth one because sometimes it's just so easy when we say, for example, that it's not existing and not non-existing. Then, but we are also not using that fourth alternative because we go beyond the fourth. And I was wondering, could you maybe explain more on these on these four propositions and the fourth one because it's confusing.
I mean, it is like, it is, what do you call it, fourfold logic. Yeah. So I mean, usually the logic is binary. Yes. Sorry. Oh, where did I get that? Okay.
Is that talking about that Chatuskortika?
That's right. Yes or no.
I forgot my friend's name.
Yes. 1, 2, 3 is yes and no. Yeah. Yes and no. And the fourth one is neither yes. Yes. No. No. So those are the four different, four logic. Yeah, usually now the binary, this is called binary logic. Now this is called fourfold logic. Yeah, this is actually 2, this is 4. Yeah. So the question you're asking is, yes, I know the last one, neither yes, no, no. So there you are ruling out any possibilities of any of the, all the three, isn't it? Neither yes, no, no. Now, say there are certain questions like have you now say have you, okay,
I'll give you one. Have you stopped beating your wife?
Yeah, that is exactly what. Have you stopped beating your wife? Heath, have you stopped beating your wife?
Is it wife? Wife or wife? Wife. W-I-F-E.
Wife.
My wife.
Yeah. Oh, have you if a teetotaler, you can say, have you stopped drinking alcohol? Have you stopped smoking? If you ask me, have you stopped smoking? That is neither yes, no, no. Yeah. So same thing, have you stopped beating your wife? That is that, none of the above. You can't say yes. You can't say no. You can't say yes and no. So you have to say neither yes, no, no.
Yeah, and that's exactly that. This fourth option seems like viable. For example, when Buddha is asked about the existence of Tathagata after death.
Yeah.
And then he's also denying the fourth option. And then we are left kind of without an answer. But I was wondering, why can't we, when we say that it is neither existence nor non-existence, in the other sutta he talks that we cannot say existence and non-existence. So then why the fourth option? Isn't it the fourth option when we say that it neither exists nor non-exists?
Yeah. No, it's still in that situation. There is assumption of now when you say, have you stopped beating your wife, and there is an acknowledgement of you and your wife. Yeah, still there is acknowledgement. Yeah, so when you say neither yes no is, it is totally utterly irrelevant.
So I guess we're into the Lokiya versus Lukattara.
Yeah, exactly. Now that is the Lokiya and Lokuttara. I mean, the language is also a tool of the world, and the Buddha had to use it. And the Buddha very clearly says, I use it, but I am not attached to it. And this is why, in most cases, some of the questions he did not answer at all, because they are misleading. Yeah. So in the local, and the Buddha says, use it as like an arrow. When you are hit by an arrow, do you ask those questions? What is most relevant? Is it to ask, so, where has this arrow been made, and blah, blah, blah. So is it, that is not relevant, is it? Yeah.
Yeah, so it's like it's not applicable at all, the concept, like existence.
Exactly.
So from a Lokiya level, it would look like the fourth, but actually he means that the whole concept just doesn't work, despite like worldly intuitions that it has to be one of at least these four, if not the two.
Exactly.
And it's really funny because Western philosophy basically stopped and the bivalent logic.
Yeah.
And then Buddha is even rejecting the fourfold logic. So
exactly. Yeah.
A long way to go for them.
Yeah, that's that doesn't give us any hope at all, does it? Yeah. So
therefore that neither causality nor cause and effect relationship is rejected, isn't it?
Sorry?
Neither causality,
yeah,
as a theory of logic, neither causality nor cause and effect relationship,
yeah, exactly. I mean,
are rejected.
Yeah, exactly. People misunderstand causality. Otherwise, a lot of people will be enlightened. If you understand causality. Yeah. So, and this is why the Buddha said, this is thin air, very hard to penetrate, and keep working on it. It is, he used many epithets. Patisotagami, it is going against the stream, not anusotagami. Yeah. Patisotagami, nipuna, gambhira, duddasa, anu. He said, this is very subtle. So in his first first reaction when he attained the Buddhahood, he said, shall I just stay silent? I think he thought the best thing to do is to stay silent. Yeah. And then because then then the Brahma, the great man, came to the earth and he said, oh, Venerable Sir, the whole entire world is going to perish if you just do that. Don't do that. Don't even think of doing that. And then the Buddha says, okay, who will understand this? Yeah. And then he was thinking, oh, Buddha Alaraka Lama, his first teacher who taught the 7th jhana, would he be able to understand this? Oh, alas, he actually died last night, no, 1 week ago. And then he said, oh, what happened to Uddhakaramaputra, who taught the 8th jhana? Oh, he died last night. So he say, he says, who else will be able to understand this? So funny that he was not looking for us. Yeah, the Pali students. Yeah. So I mean, this is I think this is, we should not take this as kind of I mean, he really had the feeling that nobody would be able to understand this, what he realized. But and then later on he was working through and he just built a lot of confidence in people, in their ability to understand, isn't it? Bhante, okay.
Yes,
How are you?
I'm great. Good. Doing nice.
Yeah. You're not putting the light on today. You're in a bit of a dark. Yeah.
Okay, I can.
see. So anyway, folks, any questions about anything we discussed?
I have one, but because I read somewhere that I think it's from monk from Thailand was talking about dukkha, and
yeah,
he said that the dukkha as a noble truth is different from
hold
the
on,
dukkha.
just hold on. Yeah.
Oh.
I just put my light on as well. It's a bit dark here. Yeah, dukkha, yeah.
So the dukkha is the first noble truth. He said it's different from the dukkha as the one of the 3 characteristics, because one can be seized and the other, I didn't really understand that. And I was wondering, what do you think on that interpretation, whether it has like some merit or is it not a good one?
The word dukkha, yes. I mean, dukkha, it is like an iceberg. There actually, you see the dukkha at some place and you think this is the end, this is the dukkha. But there is actually so much that you don't see. And this is why the Buddha says our problem is actually not seeing the dukkha. If you see the dukkha actually changes, doesn't it? Dukkhang parinyeya. The problem is we don't see it, we don't know it, and we don't see it. And the moment you actually see it, and they say, sorry, yada niccang tan dukkha, that which is impermanent is suffering, yeah? So it is not that actually the impermanent that leads to suffering, but the problem is that people don't understand impermanence, and therefore that brings suffering. Yeah. So there are these 3 levels of dukkha, don't we? Like, what are these 3 levels of dukkha? It is called dukkha dukkhata, dukkha dukkha. and the other one is called Viparinama Dukkhata, and the other one is called Sankhara Dukkhata. So a lot of people actually understand the Dukkha Dukkhata and the Viparinama Dukkhata. Now this is again the level of the world, Lokiya. Yeah.
Some
Now
people claim they don't suffer.
Sorry?
Some people claim they are not suffering.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, yeah. You know, exactly. I mean, I think see this is the relativity in the world. You know, some people think, oh, I mean, we you know, some people think that they suffer sometimes and they don't suffer other times. I mean, there are all these relative suffering people talk about, but this last one, Sankhara Dukkha, is only accessible to somebody who had actually Lokuttara knowledge. So that is the Aryan, only the Aryan who actually penetrates into the Sankhara Dukkhata. Yeah. So these, you know, I mean, now, you know, when you actually think of the realms like the formless realm, you know, formless Brahma realms, yeah. Now, you know, you don't have even a faculty to feel the dukkha, yeah. But they are not, you know, still they are not free from sankharas. So the sankharas, the formations, at the very subtle, deepest level that is taking place. So the sankhara dukkhata is something that you are never free from, whether you are in the, you know, human realm, divine realm, or formless realms, or whatever. Yeah.
So just so if I understand correctly, then even after realization of the, I mean, noble path and the third noble truth, so the cessation of dukkha, the dukkha is like still there, but it doesn't affect the Tathagata is ceased for them, but
yeah,
but it's still as a mark of existence, it's still present.
Exactly. The dukkha is present. I mean, this is, you know, I mean, you know, the dukkha is present, but it doesn't affect your mind because you have realized that. You know, but the dukkha is there so long as you are in this realm. Yeah. But compare that to people who don't know. Now say, for example, I mean, you know, you have an illness. Is it better for you to know that or not? I mean, sometimes you say it is better not to know it. Yeah. If you don't know, I mean, you know, if you have a cancer, and is it better if you know it, or is it better if you don't know it?
But sometimes you can know it and heal yourself from it.
Yeah.
But if it's deadly, then I would rather not know.
Exactly. I mean, but you see, knowing and not knowing both are relative. Yeah. But the realization is also, the realization is even going beyond knowing it. So you have realized this is the fundamental fact of existence. So therefore, you're not expecting it to be any other way than what it is. Yeah. sort of that sort of thing. So this is why the Buddha says, like dukkhe anyana. It's not knowing the dukkha which actually brings a lot of suffering. But the Four Noble Truth is about dukkhe jnana, dukkha samudaya jnana, knowledge of the stuff, and dukkha nirodhe jnana, nirodhagamini patipadaya jnana. So therefore you are mentally, psychologically totally free, but still you have to carry this, khandhas, sankharas. But the moment one who really realizes their actual nature, they are not affected by it. Yeah.
It's funny that some people, they don't want to acknowledge that they are suffering because they think that if they do, then they will suffer more than what, the opposite, that it's actually the case.
Absolutely, yeah. Now that is again our psychological, the relativity, because people are always afraid of something. You see, usually the Western psychology is that it is better not to know, but for how long? Can you just hide your head in the sand forever? One day you're going to figure it out. Yeah, then that comes that will be even tougher when you, so this is why the Four Noble Truth is put right at the forefront, isn't it? So better you actually realize it, but you are at least you are mentally free from it. Yeah.
It doesn't always seem that way when you see a patient in hospital.
Yeah. No, I agree. It is, there are certain situations sometimes tactically it helps not to know. Yeah, but because, it can overwhelm you. Yeah.
Yeah, usually when I see them, it's too late. They already know and they're overwhelmed.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. So, one doctor was telling me that it is better because, that you get dementia, when you are getting old, growing old, a lot of people get dementia. When you get dementia, you actually don't know what happens to you. So there is a plus.
Yeah. What happened to the original person when they don't know?
Exactly. But the thing is not knowing, even in legal terms, not knowing does not relieve you from that suffering, does it?
It does not look like that with people with dementia. They look like they're suffering very much, but don't know it.
Exactly. Suffering enormously. Yeah. So the best thing is to acknowledge it, and through acknowledgement you become free from it. So the Buddha said, "Dukkhang parinyeya." Suffering has to be realized, and when you realize it, apparently it becomes easy. And you should read Theragata, Therigata. Yeah. One day an Arahant was meditating in the thick of the forest, and the thieves actually saw him, and they were going to kill him. Yeah. So Did he have any fear? He did. He didn't. He didn't have any fear at all. Because death, he has already gone beyond death. The Arahant actually goes beyond death. Death is for for those who don't understand life, isn't it? If you actually understand life, death cannot come to you. Hina jati. Hina jati. So you have actually totally gone beyond it. Yeah. So
it is
okay.
as death. It is as death was. I mean, death and all the old age and all these remarks. They are. It's like they are like not a payoff, but you know,
like
like
manifestation of
like you
what
need to
did
pay,
for
like a
life.
debt, or
Exactly.
wanting things to be solid.
Yeah. I mean, this even old age. Now, what is getting old? I mean, just reflect on that for a moment. A lot of people are so worried about getting old. Look at Keith. Does he ever get old?
All the time. I can give you a whole list of things that happen. You start to make friends with your doctor.
Yeah.
And things start to fail.
Yeah. Yeah. But it's actually a psychological phenomenon, isn't it? Yeah.
I'm not sure about that.
But I know some people that are at least like 20 years old younger, but because they're mentally younger, they look like they don't have any wrinkles. They just feel like they're teenagers and they're like in their late 30s, for example, or something like that.
Yeah. No.
I think it's
Yeah.
mental.
Yeah. Now, I mean, all these wrinkles and other things, or gray hair, cannot define your old age, can it?
There are young people with gray hair when they're thinking too much and stressing about life.
Especially it is the academic, academia, isn't it? So don't go anywhere closer to an academic institution, a university, okay? It can make you old. It's yeah.
Don't tell that, then how we can survive? How we can have money?
Manoj, just get out of that university.
How we can have foods? We want to survive.
You want a permanent head damage. That's why you are there.
Because those unlearned person are the professors, because if they are eminent in the subjects, why don't they go to the industries and the practices?
Yeah.
For example, PhD in Buddhist studies, at least I don't think they can't.
Yeah.
This.
No. I mean, what was written in my, university. I mean, I was at Cornell in America, and in the toilet, I saw a sentence one day: academics kill by degrees. Academics kill by degrees. So it is, the problem is academics.
It certainly is. I remember being with you in India at Nalanda at that big conference, and I was traveling in the car with a guy who was a professor, an Indian professor in Buddhist studies, and he was quite proud of the fact he was a Roman Catholic. I said, but surely studying all these texts has had some influence on your Catholicism. He wouldn't accept that at all. So you don't even have to be a Buddhist to do Buddhist studies.
Exactly. Yeah. No. I mean, we come to realize how much we are conditioned by the worldly views and opinions. Now, this is what's called views, isn't it? Now, we even kill the Buddha. We make the Buddha get old. Yeah. We even celebrate the death of the Buddha. Isn't it ridiculous? So anyway, in the Pali text, it's very clear. Jata, bhuta, kata, sankhata. And the opposite of those ones are ajata, abhuta, akata, asankhata. Yeah. So now you see, you have you have so jata, bhuta, kata, sankhata. Yeah. So this is, birth. Bhuta is, formed. Kata, created. Sankhata is conditioned. Yeah. And actually, this is the world. But the Nibbana is ajata, abhuta, akata, asankhata. Yeah. So there is yeah. So there is no birth, no formation, no creation, no, so there cannot be, when there is no birth, no death. Can there be actually death? Death is only for those who, this is the opposite, birth and death. Yeah. So in the Nibbanic realms, you can't have any of those. And the Buddha says, atibhikkhave ajatang, abhutang, akatang, asankatang. Monks, I say there is actually something called ajata, abhuta, akata, asankata. Because the kat, these are jata, bhuta, kata, sankata is there because this is there. So if this was not there, there is no escape from this. Yeah, this is the word. So if the Nibbana wasn't there, there is no escape from the world. Yeah. So there's a sutta. There are a lot of suttas in the Udana Pali, where the Buddha talks about this Nibbana. What is Nibbana? Yes, there is Nibbana. And that is ajata. There is no birth, no, none of these things exist in there. So if that is not there, these things cannot be there. Yeah. Okay. So now these words are really important. Jata, bhuta, kata, sankhata.
And what was Udana? Death?
Oh, Udana Pali. That's the book. It's Udana, the Buddha is actually expressing his joy. It is an expression of joy. When he attained the Nibbana, Nibbanic experience. So that is now, even on the very first day when he attained Nibbana, he said, aha, wow, I have attained this state. Yeah. So there are a lot of sutras in the Udana Pali about the Nibbana, if you want to know what Nibbana is. Okay. Michal?
I have a question. So, because I've seen many interpretations of Nibbana, and obviously depending on tradition and author and text, but I was wondering, because so some people are saying it can only be entered in meditation, and some others are arguing that the Buddha dwells in that state all the time. And I was wondering, what's your view on?
What's my view on that? I mean, yeah, well, some people say that. Who says that?
Yeah, I just some academics who read the Pali canon, I guess, but yeah, I don't know who to trust them.
Exactly. Now, those are the people who conceptualize it. Now, they have actually formed a concept. So a Nibbana is not an experience to be formed, a concept, like the Buddha said now remember in the Mula Pariyaya Sutta, the Buddha says, even the Nibbana is being conceptualized, just like anything else. So what to talk of the other things, Yeah. So that is that. But it's just like asking. I mean, people can talk about 1 and -1, but people really do not know what 0 is. Yeah, it confuses them. Yeah. So yeah.
When I was thinking about it, I thought that it's both in a sense, but that's a third option. But in a sense, I read one sutta when the Nibbana was supposedly after this eighth jhana, this neither perception or non-perception. So that would
Yeah.
seem kind of meditative. But then again, Buddha is liberated all the time, and not only in meditation. And he doesn't even need to meditate.
Exactly.
So
Yeah.
So it has to be something that is kind of omnipresent, always there.
Exactly. I mean, yeah. He says this in the Arya Pariyesana Sutta. The Buddha says, I'm going to teach you Aryan search and non-Aryan search. That's called Arya Pariyesana Sutta. He says, I left that meditate. I know people who thought that the ultimate Nibbana comes after the meditation. I left them. So ala rakhalam. So he didn't actually take a U-turn at all. So instead, what he found was that, when you attain the Nibbana, the jhanic experience just kicks in. Because we all have the jhanic experience. That's why we meditate, we just want to sit and quieten and experience. And that has nothing to do with, the Nibbanic experience. So it is constant. It says, the Buddha says, Yang Buddha setto parivannayi suching samadhi manantarikan. So incessant samadhi, unceasing samadhi. So Buddha is not talking about a samadhi that is attained as a result of your meditation. Yeah. So it is constant. it is, I mean, it got to be, otherwise, what's the point in having it? Only samadhi that comes after that meditation.
So it's like a switch, as if a switch was in
Exactly.
the whole experience, like as if he was always meditating.
Exactly. I mean, I would go for opium or cannabis rather than meditating. Yeah. So if that is the sort of meditation, I mean, this is the problem with the Western idea of meditation. It is something that you do rather than you be, isn't it? Yeah.
What was the name of the sutta again, in which this was?
Arya Pariyesana, Aryan Search. It is in the third volume of the middle length discourses, Majjhima Nikaya. Yeah. So it's a beautiful sutta, but it is a bit long. That's why I didn't take it up. You will hate me if I took that sutta. So probably in my next Pali course, we can, the second level. Yeah. Oh, by the way, after now, next week is our last day of lesson, the 14th, and then the 21st is only if you want to do some presentations. Yeah.
So next week we don't do presentations.
Oh, if you want to, I mean, you have to let me know. Even today, if anybody wants to do a presentation, I can take some rest. Yeah. Yeah. Just put your hand up if you want to do any presentation at all. No pressure. Manoj?
Karaniya Metta Sutta, I would rather prefer to have a good explanation.
Oh, okay. That's a good idea, mate. Okay. Shall we do the Karaniya Sutta after a short break?
Yes, yes. What about, I don't know, what about others?
We call Shanta Pada, Karaniyam Karaniyam Aksha Kusale.
Indeed, Bhante. So let's grab a cup of tea and do the Karaniya Sutta in 10 minutes, shall we?
Yeah.
Okay.
I think we have a mutiny.
Sorry?
I think they don't want to come back.
Oh, I know.
You offered them a tea break and threatened them with presentations.
Oh gosh, yeah.
Oh, there's Manoj.
Where is Manoj? Oh, there is he.
I was thanking you earlier. I was telling Sunil how great you were. That reference you gave us last time.
What's that?
It is, for me, it is absolutely brilliant.
What's that, please?
Because the way it lays the thing out, you probably can't see here because he's on a desk view. I really like the way it sets it out with the paragraph, and then all the words in Pali are on top of one another, and then the English is next to it. And so you can put all the different meanings against it, and that was perfect for me.
It's not me.
Well, you sent us the shortcut to this Metta Sutta from Milan.
All right, yeah, it was there.
Yeah. Oh, well,
thank you.
I need to thank somebody else.
Thank you.
Yeah.
But I'm really worried about why Dr. Sunil indirectly tell that you are age-old man by telling that you have gray hairs. And
I'm the reverse of what you were saying. I'm actually only 27.
No, I see. 18.
I mean, you've seen me.
No, it's 18.
Yeah. Okay, folks, welcome back. Are you there? Are you there, Charlie Bay? So, Karaniya. Okay. So, who is there for Karaniya Sutta? So, Karaniya, I mean, everybody loves this sutta for some reason. It's the most recited sutta in the Pali text. So this appears in the Kuddaka Nikaya. Yeah. So are you all familiar with the stanzas? I'm sure you are. Karaniya. Okay. So are you? Who is going for me now? Now Keith knows from word to word, so perhaps we could employ Keith.
Only in English. Only.
Only in English, yeah. So, okay, let's have a look. I mean, it's a beautiful sutta in many, respects. And the context of Bhante ji, where are you? He's actually very busy today because there's a special event. Bhante, are you there? He's not there, no? Okay. So we'll get him to do some recitation later. Let's figure out the meaning. Karaniyam Attha Kusalena. Attha Kusala. Attha Kusala. Again, these are actually two words. Attha Kusala. Karaniyam. This is to be done by the skilled skilled in aims, right? That is what. So Karaniya.
May I ask something?
Please, yeah.
Well, in this word, can you see this?
Yeah.
It begins with Karaniya Mata Kusalena. Dus not Karaniyam Atta, but Karaniya Mata.
Exactly. Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. No, this is called Sandhi. Sandhi is liaison. Karaniyam. Now, this is, if you want to separate, this is why I separated it like this. Karaniyam Attha Kusalena becomes Karaniya Mattha Kusalena. Yeah. So actual word is Karaniyam Attha Kusalena.
Yes, in this version, they
I think it's
another
only
word.
for the reciting, right? For the sake of reciting.
What's that, Lola?
Like for the pronunciation?
Yeah, it is. No, the resident. I mean, no. This is how you pronounce it. Karaniya Mattha Kusalena. That's how you pronounce. I mean, you actually have the Pali is just pronounced, together in combination. No, this is called Sandhi. Sandhi is like, this is Sandhi. Have you heard Sandhi? Sandhi is like joining, liaison. Like whenever you have Karaniyam Attha, these two becomes Karaniya Mattha. Yeah. So A gets deleted. Yeah.
Yes, I understand what you say, but in this version, they put the words, they cut them after the A. Can you see this? Can you see this?
I can't see that.
No?
No, I can't see it.
Version that
Is it two M's or just
So,
one M?
It's
that
one
is
M,
what-
but it's before atta. It's karaniya mata.
Oh,
but
yeah,
when we-
yeah. That's what I'm saying.
Yes,
You know, actually, you have a liaison like Karaniyang, Atta becomes Karaniya Matta. Yeah. So we saw this whenever you have either this is actually called a nasal and a vowel, then the vowel gets deleted, Karaniya Matta. So one, yeah, this is the Pali. I mean, I think it's just for pronunciation. Yeah, Karaniya Matta Kusalena. But actually, it is Karaniyang Atta Kusalena. That's how you separate the three words. Atta Kusalena, by the one who is skilled in aims, or Atta Kusala is a name, is a kind of an epithet used to refer to the one who is seeking the kusala, the skillful means. Yeah. So Karaniyang means must be done or should be done. One who is skilled in aims should be done. And then it refers to what should it, what should be done by that person. Yang tang santang, yang tang santang, yang that which is padam. Santang padang is another name for nibbana. Now this is a name for nibbana. Yeah. Santang padang abhisamecha. Yeah. One who wants to attain or break through to the state of peace. This is what should be done. This is the qualities that he should hold. Yeah. And then there are actually qualities here. Sakko, uju, suju, suacho, suachocha, assa, mudu, anatimani. Now those are actually qualities. Sakko means actually capable, skillful, capable. That person should be really skillful or capable. Yeah. Be capable. Uju is upright. Suju is like more upright. That is very straightforward. Yeah. Ujucha, sujucha, suacha, suacho. Suacha means somebody who is with good words. Suacho. So and actually it refers to someone who is easy to talk to, easy to be instructed. Yeah, suacha. So there's a expression called suacha kikaru. One who is like obedient and easy to instruct. Mudu is another quality. Now these are qualities: sakko, uju, suju, suacho, mudu, aratimani. Mudu is gentle, kind of not too rough. Yeah, mudu. Anatimani. Na atimani. Atimani is like, conceited. Yeah, conceit. Not conceited. Anatimani. Okay. Who is going to read the second stanza? Yeah. Would you like to do that, Lola?
Sure if my internet is good enough.
Oh, yeah, we can hear you. Perfect. Yeah.
Oh, so what was your question?
Oh, could you read the number 2, the stanza number 2?
Oh yeah. Santu sako cha subaro cha apakicho cha salahukafuti santindrio cha nipako cha apakapo kules fana nugito.
Yeah, very good. Yeah. So you recognize some of these words like Sanskrit. You can easily make the Sanskrit as well. Santushta, santushti, santusako. The one who is, what is santusako? Kind of content. Yeah, content. Subharoja. Subhara is another, really good quality, easy to maintain, easy to support. Subhara. Yeah. So Subharoj, Santusako, content and easy to support. Appakicho. What is appakicho? Appa. Any guesses? Now, by now you have learned so much Pali, so you should be able to guess. Appakicho. Kicha. What is kicha?
Work.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, kicha is work. Appa, what is appa?
Like the opposite?
No, appa, no. Appa means, little, small, few. The opposite is bahu. Yeah, appa, bahu. Appangwa, bahungwa. So appa, alpa. In a Sanskrit word is alpa. Appa. Appa kicha. A little, or few, or not complicated, one who has few duties, few things to do. Yeah. Definitely not us. We have a lot of things to do. Yeah. So, appakicho. Sallahuka butti. Sallahuka. That's a really good word. Sallahuka butti. So, someone who is kind of easygoing. Sallahuka butti. Kind of, people say masterful, but basically it means easygoing. Santindriyo. Santa Indriya becomes Santindriya. So the faculties are very calm, serene, tamed. Santindriyo. Very peaceful faculties. Yeah. Nipaka or cha means and. Yeah, and. So Nipaka. Nipaka is kind of very skilled. Yeah. Nipako. It's also to do with, you know, very skillful. Nipaka. Appagabbo. Here actually not appagabbo. Some people actually pronounce it wrong. Appagabbo. You know, not pagabba. You know, pagabba is kind of a braggy, you know, somebody who is talking so highly of oneself, brag, blow your own trumpet, up, pagab. So one who is kind of modest, not you know, very high opinion of themselves. Yeah, appagabu. Kulesu ananugiddo. Kulesu ananugiddo. Kula is like families. Yeah, kulesu. Ananugiddo, not attached to the families. So Bhante is smiling. Are you not attached to the families? No?
No.
Yeah, so you have a lot of families to look after, don't you? We have just one family, but you have a lot of families. Kulesu ananugiddo. Okay, so maybe Bhante can just recite these two stanzas, please.
Santosa Koja?
No. Let's start with Karaniya Attukusalena.
Full the sutta.
Oh, yeah, all the two stanzas. Yeah.
Oh, okay. Karaniya matta kusalena yang tang sang tang padang abhisamecca sakko mujoca sujoca suvaco chassa mudu anatimani santossa koca subharoca appakiccoca sallahoka vutti santingriyoca nipakoca appagabbo kulesu ananugiddo nacha kuddang samacare kinchi yena vinnu pare upavadeyung sukino akemino honto sabbe satta bhavantu sukhitatta.
Wow, beautiful. That's lovely. Yeah. So, nacha kuddang samachare kinchi. Yeah, one should not engage. Nacha kuddang samachare kinchi. Kinchi is whatsoever. You know, kuddang means, you know, even you know, minor things. Yeah. Do not do slightest thing that the wise would later, you know, censure. That is, you know, so basically, don't do anything that any wise person would, you know, look down upon. Yeah. Nacha khuddam. Khuddha is even a minute thing, small thing. Yeah. So in Buddhism, the ethical bar is very high. So don't engage in even the, you know, minor thing that which is not praised or condemned by the wise. Yeah. Yena vinyu, you know, whoever vinyu, pare, the others, upavadeyu, upavadati. Upavadati means condemn. Yeah. Sukhino wa kemino hontu. you know, you should be very comfortable. Sukhinova. Yeah, very happy. Happy. Khemino. Khemino means fearless. Khem. Khemino hontu. Sabbe satta. Bhavantu sukhitatta. Now, this is a very important phrase. Sabbe satta bhavantu sukhitatta. Yeah. I think everybody knows that phrase, right? Do you?
Could I ask something?
Oh, please, yeah.
I hear you as well as Bhante say Sabesata, while it's written Sabasata, and actually in the version that we chant in our Sangha, it's also written Sabesata within the E, not an A. So how come you pronounce it as a...
Oh, very good. Well spotted. Yeah, excellent, Lucian. That's really so sabba is the sound. Sabba satta, when it becomes actually sabba satta. But actually it also becomes sabba sabbe. You can say sabba or sabbe, that is fine. Either form is acceptable. Yeah.
Okay, but this is the correct writing. You should write an A.
No. Both, yeah, both are correct. You know, some forms are, you know, you have you know, alternative forms. Sabba, sabba sabbayo, sabbe satta. So either sabbe satta or sabba satta. That's all right. Yeah. Sabba.
Maybe.
Yeah, here actually, you know, sabba satta, not sabba satta is the declension is kind of hidden. Yeah, so that's why we tend to recite it sabbe satta.
May I ask something?
Oh, please, yeah.
Is it more or less comparable to the last sentence of Dhammapada 5? There it says so dhammo sanantano, but in a way it's also sa dhammo sanantano.
Oh, yeah, very good.
It's more or less comparable, I think, with the A and
That's
the A.
it.
Or
That's
isn't
it.
it?
Exactly
Yeah?
right.
Okay,
Yeah.
okay. Thank you.
Wow. I want you to be a Pali scholar. Yeah, you just pay a little attention. You pay attention to the you know, very subtle points. Very good. Yeah. So yeah, Esa Dhammo and Esa Dhammo, and also it is for the meter. You know, for the meter, because this is to be chanted. When you want to chant it, you want to keep the meter. Yeah. So sabbe satta, so sabba satta, ideally, bhavantu sukhitatta. May all beings be well. Okay, Bhante, would you help us? Yeah?
Yeah. Some people call some Bhante call
Yeah.
Sabbe Sapta Sukhino Bhavantu with the same meaning, right?
Yeah. You know, the words mean.
Sabbe Sapta Sukhino Bhavantu.
Yeah.
All beings be well and happy, right?
Exactly. Yeah. But you know, but this is coming from the Khuddaka Nikaya in the very old ancient language. This is not kind of a new Pali, very old. Yeah.
Yeah. You need in the Gatha?
Actually, I think Dr. Sunil, if you can explain that these Karariyametta and the Khuddaka and Sutta Nipata, they were from the Buddha's early stages that represents the Buddha's early use of language and the teaching. It's I would rather prefer if you can tell us about something.
Yeah, sure. Yeah. Why don't you tell us? It's Sutta Nipata. Yeah, it is. So, you know, the Sutta Nipata is one of the oldest text. So you have a lot of sutras with an ancient Pali, very, I mean, but you know, I mean, I think you know, the Buddha used this language over through 45 years. So the language tend to vary from, you know, kind of time to time. So it's like, you know, you could speak the same English, but the medieval English versus modern English, you know, they're different. Yeah, so similarly, the Pali had, you know, also shows some ancient kind of archaic expressions as well. Yeah.
In the Gatha.
Okay. Yeah, Bhante.
Ye kechipan bhutatte tasava tavarava anavasesa digavaye mahantava madhyimaras kanukatola dittavaye vangaddittaye chadore vasanti avidore bhutava sangbhave seva sabbe satta bhavantu sukhitatta Naparo parang nikubet nati mangnyet atthatinang kangti vyarosana patiga sangnyanang mangnyas dukkha michchey mata yathaniyang puttang ayusa ek putta manurakke evang pe sabba bhutesu manasang bhavaye aparimanang Mittang cha sabbhalokasming manasang bhavaye aparimanang uddhang adocha tiriyang cha asangbadang averang asapattang tittang charang nisingno asayano va yavatas vigatamiddho etang sating aditteya brahmametang Vyarang idamaho ditting cha anupagangma silava dasanena sangpangno kamesu vinayagedang nahi jatu gabbaseyang unareti.
Sadhu, sadhu, sadhu. Very good. Excellent, Bhante.
Thank you, sir.
Yeah, lovely. Now you see, when you actually read this sutta, you know, when you reflect on the meaning of it, it actually, you know, it calms you down, and there is the amazing impact. If you know the context, do you know the context of this sutta where the Buddha asked the monks to recite this?
I thought they were plagued by some demons or something in the woods.
Exactly.
Or in the forest,
Yeah.
something like
Yeah.
that.
Yeah. A group of you know, monks actually went to the forest to meditate, and then they, you know, they usually find peaceful, you know, forests to meditate, and then some you know, demons, or actually yakas, or some beings who didn't like them, you know, making a lot of disturbance. Yeah. So they actually came back and complained it to the Buddha, you know, what shall we do, Bhante? You know, whenever we go there and meditate, these demons are disturbing us. Yeah. So what should we do? And the Buddha said actually, permeate, spread the thoughts of loving kindness. So the thoughts of, I mean, now this really shows the level of loving kindness. Ye ke chipana bhutati. Yeah. You know, he said, may all beings be well. And then the beings are defined. whatever beings there may be. Yeke jipana bhutati tasava havara. You know, tasa. Tasa is, you know, weak being. You know, those who are really timid, fearful, or thavara. Thavara are those strong ones, like sthavar. So thavara, strong, either weak or strong. Yeah, tasava thavara va anavasesa. There is actually one letter missing here. That's why anavasesa. It's not vanavasesa, actually, anavasesa. Thavara va. Sorry. Tasava thavara va anavasesa, without exception. Anavasesa. Dighava ye mahantava. Digha. Now these are very common words in Pali. What is digha?
Long or something? Long.
Yeah. Ye mahantava. Again, this va has gone there. Dighava ye mahantava. Either, you know, long or large. Yeah. Majjima. What is Majjima? You should know by
middle length or something.
middle length, exactly. Rasaka. Rasaka is short. Anukatula. Yeah. Short. Yeah. Anuka is kind of subtle. Anuka. Thula is blatant, like, you know, stula. Dittava. You know, those being... Yeah, please.
May I ask
Yeah.
something? About you said something about weak and firm, I think, in the
Yeah.
weak and firm, and
Yeah.
in the Dutch translation,
Huh?
it says bewegelijk om. It's a kind of mobile and immobile.
Ah.
And then they say the immobile means plants and trees and something like that. So beings who are not moving. So
Oh,
what do you
right. Yeah,
think
yeah.
about that?
Oh, yeah. Okay, great. I mean, that's another, you know, sometimes a word has more than one meaning.
Yes.
Now, yeah, I mean, you know, when you the comparative relative terms is thavar means immobile. Tasa, but remember, I don't think it refers to trees and kind of immobile things, but beings are always mobile, isn't it? I mean, you know, ye kechi pana bhutati. You know, here, oh, okay, okay, you can also interpret prana as living things and beings. I mean, you know, I don't mind counting trees and other plants also, pana, but I mean, I don't know.
Maybe it's not right to say mobile and immobile. Maybe it's more moving and not moving or something like that.
Yeah, but all beings are moving. I mean, can you think
well,
of a being?
Yes. Okay, but I think the translators meant not moving. A plant isn't moving in another way than an animal or something.
Yeah.
I think they meant something like that.
Yeah, I mean, you know, of course, you know, this is kind of very ancient Pali, and it does have, I mean, you know, sometimes it does give more than one meaning. Tasa can, I mean, you know, there is no harm in taking it as mobile and immobile. But I would say, because all beings are mobile in so therefore, and I would say weak or strong. Yeah, but it doesn't matter. I mean, one can take a thavara. Definitely, in other contexts, the thavara means the immobile, static, as opposed to non-static. Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah. Tadava, tavarava, anavasesa, digava. So, excuse me. Dittava ye va aditta. What's ditta? Can be seen. Ditta. Ditta. Va yeva aditta. Aditta is the opposite. Those beings who can be seen, and those beings who cannot be seen. So even invisible beings, Yecha dure vasanti avidure. Dura is like far. Avidure is near. Vasanti is live, like those who live near or far. Bhutava sambhave siva. Bhuta is like, those beings who are already born, or sambhavesi. Sambhavesi are the, or waiting to be born, or yet to be born. Yeah, bhutava sambhavesiva. Sabbe satta. Yeah, sabba satta. Sabbe satta. Bhavantu sukhitatta. May all beings be well. Yeah. Okay. Number 6. Anybody can try to translate to give my throat a rest. Yeah. Na paro, parang. Paro means, here one another. It is like one another. Na paro, aparang. One another. Nikubeta. One should not despise another person. Let not one deceive or despise. Nikubeta. Yeah. One should not. Naparo parang nikubeta. Na atimanyeta. Na ati, nati. Again, this is sandhi again. Nati manyeta. Na atimanyeta. Kind of over, na atimanyati means like, despise, or actually, think bad of people. Yeah, na atimanyeti. Kathachi is never. Where, nowhere. Na kinchi. Na, whatever way, wherever. Vyarosana patigha sanya. Yeah. vyarosana, you know, through one's anger, patiga sanya, kind of, you know, with some irritation, vyarosana patiga sanya, na anya manyas dukkha micheya. One should never expect another person to suffer. Ichati, icheya. Yeah. Now, then comes to a very important simile. Mata yatha niyang puttang ayusa eka putta manurakhe evam pisabba bhutesu manasang bhavaya parimana. You know, mata yatha niyang puttam, just like the mother towards her own child, own son. Mata yatha, just like, you know, mother. Niyang puttang means, niyang means to, you know, self son. Mata yatha niyang puttang, as a mother, you know, would feel towards one's own son. Eka, you know, or eka putta, only son. Yeah, eka putta anurakhe. You know, just like a mother protect one's only, you know, child. Evampi, again, the putta is not just limited to male. It's a common one, you know, child. Evampi sabba bhutesu, similarly towards all beings, manasang bhavaye, mind should be expanded, aparimana, unhindered, yeah, unlimited, yeah, aparimana, manasang bhavaye aparimana, yeah. So evam pisabhutesu manasang bhavaye aparimana. You know, we recite this often, that sometimes we don't really focus on what it really means. Mettancha sabbalokasming manasang bhavaye aparimana. Now the metta, now here the loving kindness, the level of loving kindness, mettancha sabbalokasming. Sabbalokasming, entire world. Sabbaloka, mettancha. Manasang bhavaye aparimana. The mind should be expanded or developed, unhindered, unlimited. Uddang. Uddang is up, upper, adho, over, you know, up, down, adho, tiryang. In the, you know, in the tirya is on the same length, yeah. Above, below, and all round. Yeah, mettancha sabbaloka, uddang adoja tiryancha, asambadhang, that is unhindered. Sambadha is kind of hindrance. Asambadhang, averang, without any, you know, where is hatred, grudge. Asapattam, yeah. Averang, asapattam. Yeah, unobstructed, without enmity or hate. Mettancha sabbalokasmi manasambhaveya primana. Averang asapatta. Tithang charang nisinnova. Tithang. Titha means standing. Charang, moving. Nisinnova, sitting. Sayanova, lying down. Yavatas vigata midho. Yeah, yavatas, yavata, as, yavatas, you know, without any, vigata midho means kind of sloth and torpor, sort of lethargy in the, in the mind. Vigata middho. Etang sating aditteya. Etang sating aditteya. Brahmametam viharang idamahu. Now this is the type of mindfulness. Aditteya. Now establish. This is the type of mindfulness one should establish. Brahmametang viharang idamahu. This is called Brahma Vihara. Brahma etam viharang idamahu. The last stanza is the most important one. Dittincha anupagam. Ditti, now we all know the ditti is views. Dittincha anupagam, without falling into the views. Silava, with integrity. Dasanena sampanno. With yeah, please. Yeah.
May I ask one thing, please?
Yeah.
You said views, but isn't it wrong views?
Yeah, wrong views. Yeah.
Okay,
I mean, whenever you actually refer to ditti in the, I mean, of course, not if it is not qualified like samma ditti, but if it is not qualified, ditti refers to wrong views all the time.
Yeah. Okay.
Okay. Dittincha anupagam, not without. Yeah. So silava, with integrity. Dasanena sampanno, with vision. Kamesu vinaya gedhan, without getting attached to the kamas, attaching things. Yeah. Kamesu vinaya gedhan nahi jatu gabbaseyang punaretiti. So now somebody who develops the mind to that level has the ability to transcend the Gabbaseya. Gabbaseya is like sleep. Seya is sleep in the Gabbas, the womb sleeping. Yeah. Punaretiti, never again they will be sleeping in the wombs. So that means, so basically you transcend the kama loka. Yeah. So now this is the state of the mind of an anagami. Anagami is the non-returner. Yeah. So if you don't want to return to the karma world again, then you have to practice your metta, your loving kindness, to such an extent. Yeah.
Could you please, I would need rather big explanation for the last stanza, because for this you have a nice elaboration. I know that dittincha na upagamma and sila, dasanena sampanno, how it differs from the sila and the dasana.
Yeah.
Just in order to identify the subtle meaning of this stanza.
Yeah. I mean, the Buddha's wisdom is in one stanza, he can kind of encompass the entire Buddhist path. So now this is an example of that. He says the tincha anupagama, without falling into the wrong views, because that's really paramount, fundamental, isn't it? So because the biggest problem we have is not the sila, but because we fall into the erroneous views. Yeah. So dittincha anupagamma silava. Now because usually the sila comes first, because in the pre-Buddhistic context, people always wanted to have silas. But the Buddha was actually emphasizing the sila should be right sila. So that is why I say dittincha anupagam. Without falling into the views, wrong views, then one actually develops the right sila, not the wrong ones. Yeah. Dittincha anupagam silava dassanena sampanno. Now that is the vision. That the right view. Dassanena here means the sammaditi, right view. Yeah. Does that satisfy you, Manoj? Hopefully. Manoj is never satisfied. Yeah.
I just wanted to say that it's interesting because I listened lately to a podcast about, I think, I'm not sure, but maybe Milarepa from Tibet. And he was precisely talking about that. So he said that first needs to be the view, and then from the view, then the right meditation, and especially ethics come later. So, and then they say it's that's a part of the Vajrayana, but actually you can find it already here. I mean, when
exactly.
So
yeah.
it's not that different.
yeah. This is why I don't like, this sectarian Buddhism. There is no such thing as Vajrayana Buddhism or Zen Buddhism or, what is it, Nichiren Buddhism. Those are all cultural stuff, this is how now you can see how, all this, like the Buddha said, all rivers meet in the ocean. So the same way we actually, now when it comes to the teaching, there is so much common grounds. So it's the traditions like, oh, I'm a Tibetan Buddhist. Who cares? Don't tell her, oh, I don't want, please, Bhante, remove that from the YouTube, okay? They will attack me now.
He's not there, so I think, yeah, you are on
he's gone.
You are on
he's
the
gone.
record.
Oh, I'm in trouble now.
Recorded.
Yeah, but Keith has a really good story of Tibetan Buddhism. Keith, could you tell that to people?
Yeah, I'm not sure whether I haven't told them already, but we'll remind them. I went to the Buddhist Society in London, which is the oldest, regarded as the oldest Buddhist society, not a temple. A society is over 100 years old, and there was a talk being given by a Tibetan monk, and he was genuine Tibetan. I think he was one of the ones who escaped in the 50s. I don't know his name. I can't remember. It's quite a while ago, and he was highly respected. And the Buddhist Society is a big Victorian house, and it has a big meeting room, and there's also a library, and the building was packed. The main meeting room was packed, and there was an overflow into the library. And the library was packed, and they had a microphone and a loudspeaker in the library. This guy was so popular. And the title of his talk was Tibetan Buddhism. And so in he comes in all his robes, and he sits down at the front, and everyone is absolutely quiet. And he looks from one end to the other, and he says, there's no such thing as Tibetan Buddhism. And this murmur goes round the room. Right, who's he? He sat in all the robes and all the rest of it. Who's he? And it settles down again into silence. And then he does it again. He looks around, squints at everybody, and says, there's no such thing as Tibetan Buddhism. And the gist of his talk was very simple, and it stayed with me. There's Buddhism and there's Tibetan culture, and they go and twist together. And I've found that to be extremely helpful ever since, right? Because like I do Zen, you see, and you know, I don't know, Lucian, whether it's the same with you. If you look at people in your Sangha, how many of them are really into Japanese culture rather than into the Buddhism? You know, you find it everywhere. You know, these Sri Lankans are no different, you know. It's a culture keeps, and then when it moves, you know, it just adds more cultures as it goes.
Yeah.
Now the chairman or the president, the guy who set up the Buddhist Society, he was a High Court judge, and he was once interviewed in the early days and by the media and said, "Are you not worried what Buddhism will do to the West by setting up this center?" Yeah. And he says, "No, I'm more concerned what the West will do to Buddhism, as in what the culture will do to the culture." So that was a good lesson, and it stayed with me for a long time. And that must be about 15 years since I heard that. It was really valuable.
Yeah. It is. Is it the Christmas Humphrey, isn't it? Yeah, Christmas Humphreys. So he was a High Court judge, and I think, you know, BBC. I mean, the good old days when a High Court judge becomes a Buddhist. You know, all the media comes after you know, these people. You know, person, High Court. You're a High Court judge. Do you believe in reincarnation? And he says, no. Oh, how can you be Buddhist and don't believe in reincarnation? He said, I know it. So he said, if I know it, I don't have to believe it. You know? So that's Christmas Humphrey. Because I think the you know, people like in those days, I think, you know, early I think 50s, 60s, they became Buddhist just by directly reading the text. And you know, they were great Pali. I mean, Rhys Davids, you know, and so they were Christmas Humphrey, and I think they were very well versed in what they read and understood. Anyway,
I just want to say that it's, I think, also really important to get back to the roots like we are doing, because some of the developments in like modern Buddhism, or it's kind of scary for me, because they can twist it to the point where they say, okay, so there is no nirvana or nibbana, there is no reincarnation, there is no karma. And then I'm like, what's happening, right? And this is what Peter is saying, that it's like what they will do to, like, what will be Buddhism if you just take these things and just say, oh yeah, no, it's not what Buddha taught, I will tell you.
It's exactly.
Appalling.
I mean, I Mika, I invited somebody called you know, it is called what is it called? Is it called non-sectarian? What is it called? There is another movement called secular Buddhism.
Secular Buddhism, yeah.
Secular Buddhism. I mean, the secular Buddhism. I mean, that is again, you know, Buddhism is always secular. What are you talking about? I mean, you know, so it is.
It's also funny that Christian scholars that write about Buddhism, they say 4 holy truths, not noble. And I didn't know, like, is it right or not? But apparently it is.
Because they have an idea of what's holy and what's not.
But the most one that I was like destroyed, absolutely, like really nice, insightful text I'm reading, and then person is referring to Nagarjuna and Madhyamikas as apostles of the middle way. And I was like, that's really weird way of putting it.
Yeah, yeah. And also, if you want to know something about mindfulness, there's something called Joseph Goldstein I think in Massachusetts. He's a really good Buddhist scholar. I mean, he just goes beyond the words, and he just about mindfulness. What he says is incredible. And he says after a whole mindfulness course, saying mindfulness, what it did to me and how important it is. A lot of interesting things he says. Joseph Goldstein. Yeah. So anyway, folks, lovely to see you, and we'll meet you next Tuesday.
Oh, I have one thing, but I don't know if, because for me, but obviously that's not that important. But for me, it would be difficult to do the presentation on the 21st because I'm finishing my thesis around that time. So I was wondering whether, but on the 28th, we can't have a meeting on 28th, or maybe.
I mean, Keith was very kind to remind me that we are having a conference on, those 27th, 28th, 9th. So we won't be able to do anything on the 28th. Sorry.
Oh, yes, I understand.
But you could do, do it next week. Yeah.
Yeah, I will see. I'm just still working on my thesis. I have some deadlines, but I will try to maybe make it shorter. Yeah.
Yeah,
but
sure.
Yeah, it's okay.
Yeah.
I just didn't know if there is any reason. But yeah.
Yes. Julia, you have a hand up? No?
Not anymore.
Okay. Yeah. So, yeah, I mean, the presentation doesn't have to be too formal. Yeah. So just, something that you read, and surprise us with an unseen passage. Yeah. So, yeah, please do. Okay, folks, and we'll see you next Tuesday. I'm not going to give you any homework at all because you are doing your presentations. I'm not too worried about you. You seem to kind of enjoy the course. Not too many complaints so far. Okay. All right.
And
so,
excuse me, sir, before wind up the session, I would rather like to suggest the people that why don't we have at least a WhatsApp group, just we can dialogue. I would rather prefer to listen from Keith to Ian to Michael and Julia, Alupotha Reverend and Lucy and all people and Reverend.
Yeah. We already have.
What about other ideas about that?
Yeah, some have already joined. Yeah, so we could continue our conversation if you were to I mean, even email if you have in future if you find a new Pali word that you want to know the meaning, so just put it in the conversation, a chat
On
box.
WhatsApp?
Sorry, WhatsApp. No. Anyway, yeah.
I think I'm not added. I asked you, but I don't know about that.
Oh, are you? I think you are. You are added.
Okay. So nothing happened there. Maybe I didn't see.
No. We send. We send.
I am not added as well.
Oh, really?
Yes.
Oh, let's have a say Pali.
Perhaps you have added people from heaven or wherever.
This is
I'm not
only
there.
heavenly being. Heavenly beings. I have this way Keith, Lucian, Michal, and then Manoj.
No, where is he? I didn't have any message, sir.
Oh, you didn't get any
I'm not
message?
there.
No.
Oh,
Mm.
hi. So we are only speaking in Pali in here, I think. Yeah. So Dhamma Vichaya.
Okay, just now I got it. Thanks.
Oh, you got it. Okay, brilliant. Okay, so
Could we maybe could we also join with the email address? I haven't got a mobile phone, so I can't.
Okay.
no,
I'm
that's
from the
that's
middle.
absolutely
I'm from the Middle
fine.
Ages.
I
Sorry.
think
Yeah.
on WhatsApp.
Well,
But
we used to be able to do email groups, but
Yeah.
I don't know. Yeah. Would you look into that, Manoj? Yeah. So
Yeah.
I mean, in
yeah,
future,
yeah.
if anybody wants to sort of
Yeah.
discuss, find out a Pali, yeah, you can't get away from Pali, unfortunately.
also, so maybe you could make everyone admin, so we can also add, because on then we would have to bother you every time to add
Yeah,
someone.
let's do that. Absolutely, yeah. So you could make everybody admin. Brilliant. Okay, make group admin.
You're killing Julia.
Yeah, sorry.
No, so he was like having this funny voice. Mm.
Yeah, no, I'm going to make everybody admin. Okay. Excellent. So you could
Bahunayaka Vinasantu.
no, don't worry. That's great. That's great. So you could, I mean, I think it's basically, if you want to know a meaning of of anything, conversation. I'm going to be in Amsterdam again, teaching a summer course. Yeah, so if you want to speak Pali to me in Amsterdam, you can do that. Oh, by the way, we got 28 participants in our course. Very, very strange. Yeah, I don't know who these people are. I'm from all over the world. Yeah. So if you want to meet anybody, later on, we hope to actually have a Kalyana Mitra group. Yeah. Those who want to join, study together. I want to take this sutra reading a little bit further, probably put a little bit more sutras. Maybe there are about 50 sutras, and I think this is not enough time to cover all of them. Maybe there's a second. I need to develop my business anyway. Yeah. So that's our plan. Great to see you, and see you next Tuesday.
And
Yeah.
Dr.
Oh, Bhante is gone. Who is going to do a little blessing? Yeah.
So there's a message from our Veron to add her number to that.
Yeah. Okay, Lola. Yes, we will do that. Excellent, folks. Yeah, who is going to do a short blessing? Let's invite Keith then.
My options are quite limited because you don't want Zen ones, do you?
No, you have many options. You do in so many different languages.
What have I not done for? Oh, I know what I've not done for you. Do you want a Tibetan one? Have I done?
You did one Tibetan, didn't you?
I did. I think I did the medicine Buddha one, didn't I?
Yeah.
Yes.
Right, we could do a Tibetan dedication.
Mm-hmm.
Well, a Tibetan. You Tibetan, are you? No.
Lola.
Does she do? Do you do Tibetan?
A language, you mean?
No, Buddhism.
Oh, yes.
Right.
But I don't know Tibetan, if that's what you're asking.
You can give me points afterwards.
We're going to convert anyways. So.
Right, I've not got my bell, but here goes. Cheng Chub Sen Chorim Poshe Ma Kia Panam Kia Gyu Ching Kia Wanam Pape Payang Gong Ne Gong Du Pelwa Shog. May the Supreme Jewel Bodhicitta that has not arisen arise and grow, and may that which has arisen not diminish, but increase more and more.
Sadhu, sadhu, sadhu. Thank you. Brilliant. Yeah. Okay. Good to see you. See you again.
See you next week. Next week might be my last because on the 21st I'm at a wedding.
Yep.
You are going to marry again?
I may be conducting the service.
Why don't you marry as a result of the Pali course? You can marry.
No, he's going to be the master who is blessing. Yeah.
As a Zen priest, you get all.
I know all that, but I suggest you to
That's wonderful.
have a marriage.
Yeah, one wife is enough. Thank you very much.
Okay, folks. Take care.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Bye, folks.
Yes.
Bye.
Bye.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you. Bye.
Thank you. Bye bye.